Welcome back to Espresso here on SABC3, your feel-good breakfast show. Now, if 2013 is the year that you've decided you really want to embrace this baking trend, then we have a great way for you to get started. We're going to be talking about baking basics, everything that you need to rather, grow your love for baking like my love for baking has grown. So we've brought in the experts. Our espresso chef, Caitlin Williams, is going to be showing us exactly what we need to get started, and hopefully it's going to be easy and we can all do it. Morning, Caitlin.
Good
How
morning.
are you?
Very good and excited,
I
actually.
am as well, because a lot of the times I see all of these different kitchen utensils, all of these different baking equipment, and I'm like, where does one actually get started?
Exactly, and a lot of people are intimidated by baking.
Exactly.
And it really isn't that difficult, and having sort of the basics will make things a lot easier when you do decide to take on a recipe.
I like
so
that.
every Friday we're going to be breaking down baking.
Okay.
So getting back to the basics. So if you've ever wanted to, if the viewers at home ever wanted to learn how to bake, now's the time. Every Friday tune in and we're going to sort of break it down.
Wonderful, and all of these baking tips are proudly brought to us by Stork Bake.
Stork,
so
yes.
let's get to it. Now, I usually end up winging it in terms of measuring, and I'm like, a cup of this and a sprinkle of that and a pinch of this. What is the very first steps that we need when we are talking about our baking basics?
Well, for cooking, adding a dash of that and a sprinkle of that is fine, absolutely fine, but not for baking. Baking is more sort of precise and scientific.
Okay.
That's why generally women love baking more than guys. Guys are very like slapdash. So measuring is very important.
Yeah.
So we've got measuring utensils these are the things that you should have in your kitchen, if anything else. Measuring cups and measuring spoons, these are for dry ingredients.
Okay.
A measuring jug, this would be for your wet ingredients. So if you're measuring oil or milk
or water or eggs,
and then
things like that.
every good baker, swears by a digital scale.
Really?
This is when, grams are much more precise than milliliters.
Okay.
So if you're weighing, perfect. This is what you need.
Excellent
Then
stuff.
I always have a pastry brush, for glazing bread rolls, tarts, that kind of thing. And silicone is great because it's heat resistant.
Okay.
So you're not going to burn the bristles if you're brushing in a pan or whatever.
Nice, and it cleans easier as well.
Definitely, you can just stick it in the dishwasher. And then a spatula. If I had to choose one thing to save out of my kitchen in a fire, it would be my spatula.
Really? Why is that?
Because you can use it for so much. You can scrape out your bowls when you're pouring the batter into a cake tin. You can use it for hot sugar syrup because it's silicone, so it's not going to bake, melt and distort.
I hated the spatula as a child because I always wanted to be the one to scrape out the bowl, at the end, and they were like, nope, pass me the spatula.
Exactly. Then the wooden spoon is your friend. So a wooden spoon is also really versatile. Try and get, this one is not glazed, but a glazed one is always great because it doesn't absorb flavors. You don't want to stir a savory onion garlic dish and then make fudge and transfer the flavors.
I know, yummy.
A wooden spoon for folding in,
Yes.
sort of meringues and that kind of thing. A whisk, obviously, whisking.
Everybody needs a whisk,
And then we've got, this is sort of an optional, but I always have it, piping bags, disposable ones, because you don't want to wash stuff. Just then you use it, throw it away. And then 2 basic nozzles. We've got some cookie cutters as well. Glass bowls.
Yes.
You can never have enough bowls in your kitchen.
Yeah.
The glass bowls are great because you can move them from your microwave, you can put them over a pan of water to, melt chocolate.
Yes.
So that's quite versatile as well. And you don't want to be washing in between. You don't want to have to stop your baking and go too much effort.
I absolutely agree with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we've got baking paper. You don't want all your hard work to go to waste if it sticks.
Okay, cool. So this you would line your baking tray with as well, right?
And you could also make it to fold piping bag as well for chocolate, that kind of thing.
Very nice.
A rolling pin for pastry.
Yeah.
Don't ever put a rolling pin in the dishwasher.
Okay, good. Good to know. It's a good to know. Okay, so this is our first section before we get into actually putting things into the oven.
Yes.
If you've missed any of these, we will have all of the details on Espresso's website, espressoshow.com, so you can just go and catch up on those basics if you have missed any of them already.
It is a lot to take in all at once.
It is, but it's good to know because these are the basic stuff that everyone needs.
Yes, If you're going to go out and sort of equip a new kitchen, just get this. And if you buy a good quality set, you won't only buy it once. You won't have to.
And as I think our love for baking kind of increases, the more we'll want to have good quality stuff. All right, so now we are here with the things that actually go into the oven, and I see you've got metal baking trays. Why would we opt for, because I do see some people with silicone baking trays.
Yes.
Which one's better?
Silicone is great if you're a beginner for baking because without a doubt it's not going to stick. So you can literally just pop the cake out. The problem with silicone is that it's not a very good heat conductor. So it doesn't brown cakes very well. It's great for muffins and maybe cupcakes and light sort of cakes, but bread is horrible to bake in a silicone.
Okay.
So then metal is sort of your go-to guy because it gives you a really nice crust, and you know there's like literally thousands of different kind of cake tins, and it's really intimidating when you go into a shop. You're like, what do I need? 2 of these will get you very far.
All right.
And springform preferably. So it's got a removable bottom. Because you can use this for cheesecake, you can use it for sponge cakes, and you know, when you want to take out a cheesecake, for instance, you're not going to ruin it. It simply just pops out and you serve it on.
And that's like a standard size that everybody should start out with. And then we've got muffin trays, we've got bread tins, we've got everything that we could possibly
and
need.
then so these are the basics, and like you said, it's all on our website. So you can download it and you can go through it in your own time.
Wow, are you guys excited? I'm excited because I've just learned everything that I would possibly need to get into baking, and like I said, we love cooking, we love baking on this show, so it's really good to know what we need. All of those details are on expressoshow.com. Go and check it out and start your baking. It's a lot of fun. Thank you so much, Miss Caitlin.
Pleasure.
Well, Ewan is outside. He's chatting to Dr. Cotton, and of course we're talking about our pets and skin allergies. Over to you, Ewan.
Stork, best for baking.